Federal Prison Time Consulting. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. Hope you're off to an amazing start of the week. Today is going to be a quick video. We're letting you know of a few awesome things, new programs that we're rolling out here, especially with all of the craziness going on in COVID-19. We know many of you got hit really hard in the pocketbook. So that's one of the main reasons for rolling this out. This is something that the team and I have been working on now for quite a while on figuring out the right platform to do it, to make sure we can get things to you properly. So we finally have a lot of the DIY products that are being released. We've got some classes that are going to be coming up on the 31st of this month. We've got another product that's going to be released on the 1st, of next month. So we want to share all of this content with you guys because I know many of you are in a situation right now where you need all of the assistance you can get, but not all of you are in a financial situation to where you can afford some of the services that you may need. So we're going to let you guys join us, give everybody a few minutes here. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's the only way you're going to get access to a lot of this content. Also, make sure you text the word MYDIY. So MYDIY for do it yourself, MYDIY to 76627. And that will put you on a list where we'll be able to send you all of the upcoming DIY products, services, the master classes we have coming out. It's a lot of exciting stuff. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, but finding the time, the resource, there's not enough hours in a day sometimes. So hopefully you guys will be able to take some huge benefit from this. We do have some links in the description of this video for those of you that want to take availability right now of what's available. We have the class with Jenny that's going to be coming up on how to create the perfect personal narrative for those of you that are not in a position to hire us to do it, but do need as much help as you can. We've created a class on this, a master class of sorts, where Jenny is going to be running this class. This is going to be on the 31st. And as you can see, I'll share the screen with you guys. So this is going to be a class that Jenny's going to be hosting on the 31st. For those of you that want to get started, there's a link in the description of this video. You can click on that. It's $49, guys. $49 gets you access to this. You're also going to get the complete recording when it's finished. There's going to be tutorials that are sent to you. There's going to be templates that are sent to you. You're going to get a complete sample of what a perfectly orchestrated personal narrative should look like, just to make sure that you understand what it is that you're doing. This is going to be on the 31st, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So for those of you that want to take advantage of that, 7 p.m. on the East Coast. For those of you, wherever you're at, just schedule the time for it. When you sign up for this class, you'll automatically get notification of when it's going to be. You'll get a link right before it as well as a reminder. You can do it from your phone. You can do it from your computer. There's going to be, obviously we're going to recommend that you do it from a computer. So you have some quiet time, maybe put on some headphones, have your pen and paper ready. Definitely want to take notes on this, even though you'll be able to repeat the class. There's going to be a Q&A section at the end of that class. So you want to make sure that if you have questions, you have pen and paper there prepared to take down those questions. So make sure you guys secure your spot. We're limiting this to 50 individuals. There are some spots open still. We did a video on this, I believe it was last week, letting you guys know that this was going to be happening. We did receive quite a few people that have taken advantage of this already. There are some availability still, so get your seat while you can. Again, that's going to be August 31st. I believe that's on a Monday, right? I think it's on a Monday. Monday, August 31st. So jump on that. Now, we'll come back to that in a second. So a lot of you, and just tell you real quick, we have another really cool class that's going to be created with Tom Roots for the Compassionate Release and CARES Act. Many of you need some guidance on that as well. And again, not all of you are in a position to be able to afford, the several $1,000s that it can cost to have this done for you. But for those of you that want to know exactly how to format this, how you should be creating, what you're going to be submitting, whether it's going to be to the warden, and after the warden either denies it or doesn't respond, and you decide you're going to want to go directly to the court yourself, this will give you a perfect description of how you should be creating your compassionate release request through a motion that you can be filing directly with the sentencing judge. So myself and Tom Root is working on all of the workaround on that. That should be ready sometime early in the beginning of next month as well. And if you text MYDIY to 76626, as soon as that program is ready, we'll send you a text with a link. We're going to be right now. There's also promotions. A lot of this stuff is in pre-launch. For example, if you want to take availability of for those of you that are looking into RDAP, we've created a masterclass on RDAP that's going to be the complete roadmap onto not only qualifying for RDAP, what RDAP is all about. There's different elements to the residential drug addiction program. Many individuals think just because they get into the program that they automatically get the sentence reduction. So we all know, well, maybe some of you should know by now from watching the channel long enough, that that's not always the case. Also, depending on the length of sentence you receive, if you receive a minimum sentence of somewhere around 24 months, that kind of puts you into a spot, because depending on when you surrender to the prison and based on when the next RDAP class starts, if you get to prison, say tomorrow, and RDAP doesn't start for a month, 2 months, 3 months out, just because you were given the required amount of time to take RDAP, it's all based on when you enter into the program. So if you get to RDAP, or you get into the prison and RDAP doesn't start for 3 months and you're given a 24-month sentence, now there's not enough time for you to take the program and receive the sentence reduction. So you kind of shoot yourself in the foot. You can still take the class to get the help you need, but you're not going to get any sentence reduction. So we're going to go over this. We're going to go over tips. We're going to go over some tricks. We're obviously going to go over the complete scope of RDAP from A to Z. You're also going to receive part of the BOPs, how the BOP rules and regulations of who applies, who doesn't qualify for RDAP. Many of you, we've heard rumors that some of you are in prison. You didn't have it in your pre-sentence report, but you had a substance abuse evaluation, and the RDAP coordinator is telling you that you can't qualify if it's not in your pre-sentence report. Well, we can show you in the RDAP policies and procedures that that's not the case. So we're going to provide you with every tool necessary that you could need in order to position yourself, again, that if you're interested in taking RDAP, to get the help that you need to combat substance abuse and addiction, things like that, you're also going to put yourself in the best possible position to get the benefit, the added, dangling the carrot, which is sentence reduction. A lot of people would not take RDAP if it was not for the sentence reduction. So going over how to qualify for RDAP, who doesn't qualify for RDAP. We're also going to go over what a day in life in RDAP is like, why people get kicked out of RDAP, what you can do to avoid some of these common, these biggest common mistakes. And again, RDAP follows you into the halfway house, why individuals get removed from RDAP or lose their good time for RDAP. Once they get into the halfway house, we've seen many individuals go back to prison, get their year taken away. So you just want to make sure that you don't think you have it all figured out. And if you're somebody that's taking this serious and you want to best position yourself for the best possible outcome, preparation is absolutely the key. Now, obviously we have services that encumber all of this, but many of you, again, especially with what's going on with COVID-19, you're not in a position where you're able to spend several thousands of dollars to have this kind of hand-holding and the one-on-one. But we're putting this now into a course introduction where you could take advantage of these different master classes. And we're going to create these courses on every aspect of what the company has to offer, from personal narratives, character reference letters, RDAP preparation, PSR preparation, mindset coaching, what we're doing with Tom Root when it comes to motions creating for compassionate release through CARES Act. So all of this information is going to be made available to you through some of these very, very affordable courses. Right now, and I believe there's on the RDAP roadmap, it tells you right here, to get full access to this, you're looking at $395. That is an absolute bargain for those of you that are not in a situation to spend. Now, when you purchase this, let's say you get into this, you realize that you need more help than what you anticipated. Well, this doesn't stop you from hiring us for our services. You can absolutely apply the cost of what you already spent on any of the courses to the actual service itself. Not to mention the $395 service for the RDAP roadmap also comes with a couple consulting calls. It also comes with us contacting the prison and using our contacts on your behalf to find out when the next RDAP class is going to start. So if you are in a situation where you're sentenced to a 24-month sentence and you're just given your designation and your surrender date and you're not sure when RDAP starts or if RDAP's even at that prison, these are things that you definitely want to find out before you go, because in many cases, if RDAP start date and your self-surrender date do not align, like let's say you're getting to prison a week after RDAP started, well, you're done. You're not going to be able to take RDAP. You're not going to have enough time. We can work with your attorney to create a purpose for your attorney to go back in front of that judge to change your surrender date, which we do all of the time for our clients. So it's something that we already do for most of our clients. If you're in a situation like that, you got to realize there's many moving parts. And just because you've read some information and you think you have it all figured out, I'm telling you guys, we see horror story after horror story of why individuals made a mistake. There wasn't something properly documented in the PSR. They thought they got into prison with enough time left on their sentence, and then things change. You have to be very up on what's changing on a regular basis. So giving you access to all of these programs, all of our resources, all of our tools. We've been doing this now since 2016. We've created quite the plethora of what to do in order to put somebody in that situation so they're not likely to get smacked upside the head where they should be qualifying for something, and due to a minute mistake, to a technicality, now they no longer qualify. COVID-19 has been a beast through the prison system, not only causing people to get sick, but it's shutting down programs. First Step Act is being basically held up to a halt because individuals aren't getting the programming credits that they need. So being able to take advantage of all of this, getting extensions, these are all things that you're going to need to be very the wherewithal on this, and the foresight and the mindfulness of this needs to be at an extreme heightened sense right now. And if your attorneys aren't covering this for you, it's information that you're going to want to make sure that you're doing your own due diligence. Your attorney's job is cut and dry. Your attorney's job is to negotiate your plea deal, make sure that you understand what you're signing, make sure you realize going to trial in most cases is going to be a really horrible situation, making sure your points are calculated properly, making sure if you're going to expect any sentence reduction through downward departures, 5K1s, your acceptance of responsibility, getting your points for that to downward size what you're looking at your offense level. This is where your attorney really kind of excels. Where the attorneys kind of stop from that point is after you take your plea deal, what you can do beyond that mitigating factors is where most of the mistakes will happen. It's not because your attorney wants to, it's not because your attorney's working for the government or they have any ill will towards you. It's because it's not their primary area of focus. And this is why you'll see in the courts, especially when defendants go to trial, this is why defense attorneys hire specialists for different areas. It may be a forensic specialist. It may be a medical specialist. These are areas they do not specialize. And it's no different with the specialty of a prison consultant. Problem is many of you have seen the horror stories, just like most attorneys have, with a lot of consultants out there that don't do anything other than take advantage of somebody in a very dire situation. That's why next week we're going to be doing a video on consulting, and giving you guys a breakdown, basically where we're going to let you gauge the consultants. We're going to talk about the different consultants that are out there, the services that they offer, and we're even going to look up what their services are. We're going to look up their pricing. We're going to look up their reviews, so you can kind of have an idea of who you should be hiring, who you should be talking to. And this is not just going to be, they all suck except for RDAP Dan. We're literally going to make this as fair as possible. And we're going to put everybody on an even playing field. The problem is I've received a few calls very recently, back to back, within like weeks apart, of a consultant out there that is doing more damage than good when it comes to promising designations, very specific designations like a camp status to somebody that doesn't qualify for a camp. Bank robber was one of the clients, was told guaranteed to go to a camp. Another one was a sex offender, was told he was guaranteed to go to a camp, and it was the same consultant doing this. So we are going to do a video on this, and we're going to just share the facts out there. There's a lot of good companies out there, and unfortunately there's a few that you need to be aware of. So we'll be talking about that. Coyote, what's going on, my man? Give a thumbs up, guys. And this is a lunchtime video. I'm not expecting a whole lot of you to be catching this. It's some of you don't really care about the services. Some of you are only looking for that golden ticket or that magic pill that's what's he going to tell us today that's going to make us not go to prison? Well, most of the stuff that we talk about on this channel is not going to stop you from going to prison, but it is going to help you mitigate your circumstances to the max so you can create the best possible outcome. To maybe you're still going to go to prison, but if you're looking to receive that best sentence and be able to qualify for the programs that are available to you, you don't want to leave it up to chance. You don't want to wait till you get to prison. You want to take advantage of the services. That's why you need to text MYDIY to 76626 right now. Also, there's a link in the description of this video with the two programs that are available. One of them is going to be the Perfect Narrative. Oh, Jenny's in the room. What's going on, Jenny? Didn't see you there. We've got the Perfect Narrative that's going to be hosted by Jenny Good. That's, again, we'll share that one more time with you guys. That is going to be August 31st, 7 p.m., guys. So make sure you get your ticket for that. We're capping that one because that one's going to be live. $50, $49.95 is the cost of the ticket. to enter this, and it's going to be basically it's going to be a one-on-one with Jenny, going through everything that we do for our clients, showing you how to create the perfect personal narrative. It's going to come with a template that Jenny's going to create for you, and the template is going to be used from one of our clients who's actually received amazing results from the personal narrative. It's also going to come with the do's and the don'ts, how you should be headlining this thing. Basically, it's going to give you the A to Z guide on how to create that perfect narrative and how to submit it, when you should submit it. And it's going to take away all of the guesswork. And again, there will be a consultation. Once you're finished with this, if you want to do a consultation with us for us to check it, see how you did, make sure you're on the right track. Some of these courses, we put all the information into these courses, but you may have a very unique situation where you still need to hop on a call with us after this. So we want to make sure that we give you that value and that added on bonus. The RDAP, we're going to be giving you guys many tips and tricks in the RDAP roadmap, which some of the stuff we've talked about on the channel before. The problem is RDAP is so cumbersome that to put it all in just a one video, in a 30-minute video, is really hard. So we're going to be breaking it down. You're going to get cheat sheets. You're going to get a guide. And that's the reason why there's going to be several videos. This is going to be a video tutorial with 7 different videos going over the different chapters. What is RDAP? Who can qualify? Who does not qualify? The importance of a PSR. What if I failed to mention substance abuse in my PSR? Do I qualify for a sentence reduction? What is a day of RDAP like? Why do individuals get kicked out of RDAP? How hard is RDAP? Can my year be taken away once in the halfway house? We're going to have some bonus information that we're going to throw in there. There's going to be 2 1-hour one-on-one phone or video conference calls that are going to be with me after you view this video tutorial. So if you have any additional questions that weren't covered, or maybe you have some unique situations, if you receive the minimum required sentence, you'll be able to use our contacts to find out when the next RDAP class starts within the prison that you're designated to, for the purpose of possible changing your surrender date to make sure it aligns with the next RDAP. You'll also receive a membership to our exclusive members only area that's going to be added to the site here this week or next week. That's going to be pertaining to a lot of information, including RDAP when it comes to how COVID is affecting it. Right now, if you look online, you can find out what prisons are offering RDAP, but are those prisons offering it right now due to COVID? So these are all things that you need to be well aware of. So creating these promotions and these products with these guides, giving you these master classes, it allows us to create the information one time, give it to as many of you that need it at a reduced price, because we're not doing it each time for somebody. So that's how we're able to reduce these prices, to giving you the value that you still need without the one-on-one hands-on that some of you just aren't able to take advantage of. So I hope you find value in this video, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Take the time to really do your homework on this, to do your research on this, because the biggest mistakes we see typically come from individuals that didn't put in the time and the effort, or they came in way late in the game. They didn't know how important a lot of this information was. Some of you have no idea what's in your plea agreement, yet you signed it. You've already gone in front of a judge and pled guilty, but you don't even know what you signed. Some of you haven't even looked at your pre-sentence report, and it's been ready for weeks and weeks and weeks. You're going to get to that day in court, and you're going to get a sentence that possibly isn't favorable to you. And then you're going to be upset. You're going to throw your hands up, and then it's going to be too late. We get those calls often, to where it's such a shame when you hear it, because things probably could have turned out quite a bit different, or at least the possibility of things turning out quite a bit different. Do your homework, do your due diligence. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to care about your situation more than you. At the end of the day, you have nobody else but to blame, or pat yourself on the back. You got those two options at the end. You can either sit in jail, wonder what you could have done different, or you can sit in jail and say, I left it all on the line. I'm going to make the best of the situation. I know there's nothing more I could have done. Or you'll be one of the few also that never actually makes it to prison due to all the hard work and effort you put in. You're going to find that judge that's willing to give you what you're actually looking for, which in many cases is probation, home confinement, or a highly reduced prison sentence, well below the guideline range that you're expecting to get. Guys, I'm RDAP Dan, Federal Prison Time Consulting, people helping people, communities method. I hope you guys have a great day. Have a safe week. I'll be back on Wednesday to talk about some more content, some more awesome information, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. All right, guys, be safe. Don't do anything crazy. Wear a mask, all that good stuff. COVID's real in the prison system. So if we can avoid it, we're here for you. Peace. Have a great day, guys.